I wish that I wish that Nina and Cham were a bit more consistent with when they signed up, because I feel like we need more Nina versus Cham. Because I agree, like they're both like some of the best in their respective regions, and we just don't see enough of them face up against each other like in the finals, you know? Like we need this.
Yeah, exactly. I think we had it last week. I don't believe I was here, but one of these past couple weeks there was a Nina versus Cham in the Battle of the Americas, and it looked pretty epic. I didn't watch the whole thing, but I was able to see a little bit. I guess Nina, I would say, has the upper hand on Cham. I really don't know.
It's hard to say. We don't get to see them play as often as we would like.
Yeah, maybe if we see today though, we'll know.
I feel like the times where Nina has made it to the finals are also the times where like Eggs or Parker Mike takes Cham out, and it's like
yeah, we never get to meet up in the end. Unfortunate.
It's like Cyril versus Maru, you know, like it.
Yeah. Exactly. But nonetheless, I am glad we get to cast these games and these players on this map. It's Ice and Chrome LE spawning in the top right hand corner, playing for Exxon Gaming. It is none other than the one, the only, the United States legend, the Blue Protoss. It is Nina.
And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Ice and Chrome LE, we have the Chilean Protoss player representing Alpha X. It is Dastan. And fun fact, I don't know if you've heard of this, and if you haven't, I'll link it to you later. Dastan started his own podcast.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's dope. Yeah, you gotta link me that.
It's called El Prisma, which is War Prism in Spanish, and it's Dastan with Darkness and Parker Mike.
No way.
Yeah.
Darkness and Parker Mike. That's dope.
Yeah,
we gotta I gotta listen to that one ASAP.
It's like the three top Protosses in Latin America, and
That's
they
cool.
just they talk about the game, you know, no bias, of course. No Protoss bias, but it's pretty cool.
No, none at all. Why would there be Protoss bias when Protoss is the most balanced whiners we know? No, I'm just kidding. I don't think we could safely say who balanced whines the most. Can't say Zerg does it the least, though.
I feel like we could probably say it's Terran. I feel like that's kind of what. I didn't want to say it, but I mean.
I mean, you're not wrong, but we just don't say it out loud to save feelings. I don't know. I feel like the game's pretty balanced now.
Yeah, it's you know, even though that we've had like all these patches or all these maps, or like different maps, like in general it's been pretty balanced. In general, like it's been moments, right? Like
watching it looks balanced, but I mean, I guess really what it comes down to is like the way people judge it in reality is how many premier tournaments are being won by what race, and Zerg always wins. I don't know. I guess we just have better players. I don't think we're balanced at all.
We're just better. We're just better. I mean,
we're just really good.
Everyone else just needs to step up, all right? Like,
yeah, honestly, I mean, you know.
Oh boy.
Well, we'll see. I'm interested to see. I would like to see some Protoss like win some premier tournaments, so they can be more of a threat.
Yeah. We just need some good Protoss players. That's
Did he fake that base, or what was that about?
I think he was very tentative because the adepts were here, but it looks like he should be going for it. And something that was pretty sexy, I don't know if you saw, but Dastan, he first blocked the shade with his own shade, and I was like, oh,
yeah, I saw that. That was pretty good. Is that what blocked it? Another shade? You can't body block him, right? With adepts?
Yeah, with shade blocks shade.
Oh,
I think,
that's why you had a shade there. So shade can't go through shade, just like roaches can't pass through burrowed roaches.
Yes.
That makes, wow, that's next level. So if you have two adepts, you can just shade to block the shade. That's next level.
Yeah. Boy.
Like, I don't know. That's craziness.
Yeah, it can save you some money. In PvP, like there are players though that don't go adepts, that they go like stalkers instead and stuff like that. So it's a little bit more difficult to do that. Speaking of which, we have Dastan going for this more mass adept style against the stalkers of Nina.
Yeah. And I think he's gonna try and maybe snowball or do something cheeky here because. All right, so from this position, if you're Dastan, you're denying the third base. Not that it usually comes up this quick at all, but maybe denying the third base. Maybe he'll take his third base, but he's got to do some sort of damage here because in a straight up fight, his army loses. He's going to try and shade and hope that Nina isn't able to get that wall up.
Yeah, I imagine we're just going to see Dastan constantly shade, trying to look for an opening. And if at any moment Nina, like, messes up, then Dastan is going to sneak in. He's going to get a bunch of workers. Oh,
he went in the natural. He got 2 workers. Is he going to lose anything for it? 1 adept?
1 adept so far. 2.
2 adepts for 2 workers. Not the greatest, but he'll take it. He's got to do something here.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, he's continuing to shade, continuing to keep Nina on her toes. Meanwhile, we have +1 on the way. We've got Robo, Twilight Council. Do you think he's going to commit to 2 Glaive Adepts? Like, we've seen that happen before in PvP.
I don't know, but I think Nina wins. I think Nina with the... Still there to block his shades. Nice. Mass Phoenix just amassing in the corner.
Yeah. Double Stargate. Oh, gets spotted though.
And spotted. Now she's got to pull the trigger and go for it.
Yeah.
Shade's gonna get canceled. It does.
And I think as a response to this, immediately Blink gets started for Dastan, and that's definitely gonna help, but it's gonna take a while before he gets that mass amount of Blink Stalkers ready for this.
Yeah, we will have to see how it goes. I don't know. I'm a little scared here. What? Nina? Hello? Why shield battery first?
Yeah, gets both of the sentries, which is already like a nice pick off. Trying to focus out the Stalker as well. Yeah. Shield battery runs out of energy.
Shield battery did nothing. Yeah. That was rough. I think both players a little microed there, but...
Yeah, and there's no shield battery here in the natural either, so these, oh god, they just keep getting more and more damage. Also.
Hello? Phoenix? Hello? Oh, Dastan shaded into the natural as well. So that is the reason for the Phoenix being unattended for now. Now Nina's like, oh yeah, I do have Phoenix. Let me go back to attacking.
Yeah.
And there's just nothing here.
Nothing shoots up.
Nina's gonna run out of energy eventually, but these stalkers that are gonna come across the map right now are gonna end it.
Yeah, there are more Phoenixes joining up. The Stalkers, they finally dealt with the Adepts, so Nina could push out, and oh my god, these Phoenixes they just don't stop doing damage.
God. That's gotta be game. I'm just checking all the Phoenix. They all have like 2 to 4 kills.
Yeah. We're in a weird position where Dastan is ahead in workers because he just killed, I think it was 12 or 14 probes with the Adepts, which is nice. Yeah. But the army for Dastan just can't stop this.
He's just throwing away stalkers right now. GG. I mean, he was going for +1. Why didn't he throw down some cannons?
Yeah, like some more static. Static defense is what you want against Phoenixes, because you know Phoenixes can't lift them, right?
Yeah, they can't lift them. And the shield battery just isn't a good option because you have 1 over shield overcharge or whatever it's called, but also there's no. That's it. Like they run out of energy and they do nothing. That depends a lot on your micro of your stalkers, which, you know, you can't really micro stalkers without Blink against 20 Phoenix.
Yeah, like it was rough. It was just really rough because, you know, he didn't spot the Phoenixes until the very last minute, right? With those hallucinations. As soon as they got spotted, the Phoenixes went across the map, so Dastan had very little time to prepare. And I
just don't get why anybody would go anything besides Blink Stalker.
Yeah.
As a Protoss, you just got to go Blink Stalker every time.
Yeah, like the Blink Stalkers were on the way, but it was just very late. Very late.
Yeah, because he was spending a lot of APM on the Adept shading in and out. He even had a observer in his natural, but he didn't send it across the map.
Mm.
And then he saw a stalker, so he was making immortals. So he made a whole bunch of stuff that just doesn't shoot up at all.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
wasn't able to get vision in the main, and that was the thing. Scouting. This is a game of scouting, and he didn't go for a scout.
I feel like,
Well, he went for late scout with the double Phoenix hallucination.
yeah, I feel like a lot of it also came down to, like, when you go for that adept style, I think ideally you do end up sneaking into the main, and like that does a couple of things, right? Like you get some damage done, but you also get scouting of the main base, and Nina just kept denying it like consistently.
Yeah, you know, at a certain point, you'll have enough adepts to like shoot the pylon down and just walk in or something, but didn't happen there. We'll see. We'll see. Here we go. Game number 2. Eternal Empire LE, the most macro of macro maps. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, representing United States of America, playing for Team Exxon Gaming. It is none other than Nina.
And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Eternal Empire LE, we have the Chilean Protoss player representing Team Alpha X. It is Dastan. And yes, like I love it. I wish there were more like talk shows and stuff, because you know, it allows players to yeah, like it allows players to, like, an avenue to just, like, you know, express themselves, and it's something that like we don't really get to see, especially because, like, for the most part we just see them play the game, right? Like we don't get to like hear like their opinion on things or stuff like that. And Dastan, he was talking about how, like, for the longest time, like, he never really had a lot of motivation to get better and to improve. But something that really changed that was Rebirth, and not just Rebirth, but Darkness coming back. Like these things coming together, like really like
it
motivated.
Was perfect timing, honestly. Yeah.
Yeah.
They motivated him to start trying again. Yeah, that's really good. I'm happy to hear that, because that's exactly what we needed right now. It's crazy to think like an old StarCraft player comes out of retirement, and now other people want to play better.
Yeah. It happened in our region as well, in the ANZ region. I don't know if you're familiar with a player called NXZ, but he came back. You know, similar situation. He was playing for a month leading up to DreamHack. He qualified, and then he made it to top 4 in DreamHack.
That's crazy.
Like,
how do you have that much skill and just not play?
Exactly, right? And after that happened, like, there were all these other like players that, like, hey, like, if he can do it, if he comes back and he does this, like, you know, what's stopping us from doing the same, right? Or like you know, like, what have we been doing? You know, this guy, he comes in, he practices for like a couple of weeks, and he's already like this good. Like, that's also kind of like, you know, what does that say about us? So, like, we have to also step up, right?
Yeah,
like,
we gotta defend our title. Like this block here.
Yeah. Let's shade in.
And he's gonna shade in. Oh, he shaded in. That was good. He canceled it right when the shade got there, so that the shade would definitely make it in. He's making sure he gets the scout off this time. And he does get the full scout off. It's really good for him.
Oh.
Even gets 4 pros. Oh my god. That was really good.
Compare that to last time.
Meant to be done.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what he was trying to do, but just messed up his build slightly.
So already, this is a lot better for Dastan, and I love this. We were talking about it. He must have heard us. Go blink.
Yep. He did it. He heard us. He was listening. I was just hooked, man. I don't play Protoss that much. I've been playing it a little, though. I'm getting pretty good at Protoss. I think just from watching like Patty Mac and Dastan and Nina so much in these tournaments. Like, Protoss is just second nature to me. I think we see Protoss more than anything in these tournaments.
Yeah, we've got a fair amount of Protosses, whether it's Dastan or Nina, Paco Mike, right?
I mean, the Rebirth was PvP finals.
Yeah.
And we followed mostly Protoss through the entire tournament.
pretty much. I think someone not to forget, but always gets overshadowed a little bit is Sagan, right? Like it's a lot of him as well.
I love Sagan. Sagan's good. Yeah, there's a lot of Latin American Protosses, I guess.
Yeah, they, you know, it's hard to shine when you're in the scene with like Cham and Special and Kellizer, but you know, they're there.
I mean, I think that's good that they're Protoss because there's really not many amazing Protosses out there. So, like, if you're an amazing Terran like Kellizer, he's an amazing Terran, but you know he gets overshadowed by Special. Because like, yeah, you're one of the best Terrans in the country, one of the top in the world, but Cham just wrecks you from Latin America.
yeah, it can be rough. It can be rough, but you know, maybe we're starting to see that change a little bit. Like,
that's why it's cool that there's no Protoss that are like super famous like that coming out of Latin America. It's like who do they compare you to? Neeb? Nina.
There's a lot of opportunity, right, to like make a name for yourself. You know,
Darkness. You know, like who do you compare Darkness to? I'm sure Protosses were compared to Darkness, like coming out of Latin America or Chile at least. But Blink's done, I think, for one of these players, right?
Yeah, Blink is done for Dastan.
You should go for it.
Yeah, Blink.
You can take the better engagement and just start blinking out of it.
Yeah,
Here
Blink just finished for Nina as well. So they both have Blink.
Shield battery. Oh, hasn't lost a stalker yet.
Yeah, so far so good. We just
This is a weird meta that we've reached here.
Yeah, and even though there's Sentry Silver for Dastan, like Blink is here, so the force fields aren't as useful. But
Dastan, shields are really good.
Yeah, it looks like he's maybe trading a little bit better, like especially with the reinforcements.
Oh god, he's got to back up though because there's reinforcements coming here from Nina.
Yeah.
And honestly, he doesn't need to engage. He just needs to buy time so that his defender's advantage should come into play here.
Exactly, like especially with the shield battery, like he can just chill, you know, like fight back at home, but we'll blink. Nina blinks into the main.
Not much for the defense here. Stalkers are going down. Only losing 3 probes, not bad. Oh my god, this army supply is 41-14 right now.
Jesus Christ, like Nina is just reinforcing.
20 to 9.
Yeah, Dastan,
oh my god.
His warpins just haven't been there, and I mean, he still has the shield battery defensively. He should have enough energy. There it is, overcharge is used.
Jeez, this is rough. A lot of blinks coming out. I don't know if he needs to blink forward or I don't know what the call is here. He's kind of evening up the army supplies now, but there's a lot of weak stalkers there, so Nina's gonna try and disengage and try and get this shields back up so she can go in for another fight while consistently taking a third base while reinforcing all this. How do you do that?
Yeah, I was about to say that Nina right now, all she wants to do is just deny the third base of Dastan, and she's just getting more and more ahead the longer this game goes on.
Yeah, it's 20 stalkers to 13 stalkers right now, and I think Nina should be able to just win this right here. And if not, eventually, we'll be able to win this.
A little of the supply was moving across the map as Nina finally reinforces. At the same time, Dastan did sneak a probe out, so he is starting to expand, but he needs time to get that economy up and running. Nina gets into the main base.
There's not enough here. The blinks aren't on point. The concave is gonna win it here. Look at this. It's 4 stalkers fighting the entire army for Nina.
Yeah.
You couldn't ask for a worse fight. No shield batteries, no probes being pulled. And with that, I think we're gonna see the game going to Nina. GG. Nina taking the series just like that. I mean, Nina's freaking good. Nina might be the best Protoss in all of North America.
Yeah, Nina's pretty good.
Were you trying to think of someone better for a second, or what?
I mean, you know, there's Neeb. Like,
but is Neeb better at this point?
It's hard to say because Neeb doesn't play in anything other than major tournaments.
Exactly. I want to check the
Chicken Dream Hack.
NA Dream Hack. Yeah.
I'm doing the same thing. We're like, oh, what's going on over here in NA?